Entrepreneurship is the coming together of innovation and creativity. So let's sail on this journey with the co-founder of boAt, Aman Gupta. Aman, welcome to a podcast that's been produced by you.
I thought that he's a producer.
See, that's the content producer,
Okay,
but
got
you're
it.
the guy who's constantly putting in money into the right places. I know you're the co-founder, and I was very curious on why you chose the role of being CMO.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think we'll take 1 hour to answer this question. Otherwise,
Let's go. Let's go.
No, but I love what I love, right? And I love to do only things which I love, and I don't like to do what I don't like to do. So the company, I was running a company out of a small co-working space, social. I loved it. Those were the best days of my life types. But now the company's become so big, we've got to have organized. It's like an organized setup. We've got to have divisions and policies and processes, and I hate all that. So I like doing sales and marketing, and that's what I'm doing. And we've kept a CEO, Vivek. He's a great guy, and he's running the whole. He's steering. He's the new captain of the ship.
Yeah.
And it's a very strange situation where I always say that Samir also is the chief product officer. He's my co-founder, and Samir and I report into Vivek as the CEO.
Right.
But still, as majority shareholders, we own the company.
Yeah.
Right. As a majority share. Right. So we as a board, we control the board. So and there he reports into us. So it's like a circular relationship which we have with him.
But do you get to bully him around at decisions and stuff like that?
No, I get bullied by everyone around me. That's the problem which I have. I think I get bullied a lot.
That's not bad. Sometimes to just take it as it comes and then still go with the flow. Because I know that with a little bit of reading I was doing, you guys started out selling what? Cables to charge mobile phones. Is that right?
Yeah. So we are, when we started off in 2014.
Yeah.
Audio was not an easy business, right? It was taking time to build the products, to get the sound right, and we were working with these factories. We had to teach them how to do it, what we wanted. So it wasn't an easy thing. But cables were, it was a very, easy choice.
I love the description of it. It said indestructible charging cable.
Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah, I do, because that shit dies. You buy it and it just dies 25 uses later.
No, not 25.
Not yours, but I'm saying
others.
the regular ones.
Yeah, correct. So that's a problem, right? And
Yeah.
I would call it Jugaad innovation, right? So what do you need? It's like a strong cable, and we just brought a strong cable. It was not something which was very difficult to do. We just put a tight mesh around it, and inside the core was stronger. That's it. And it lasted, and it was very easy marketing campaign also. That are you tired of buying charging cables? Switch to boAt indestructible cables. Full stop. And it sold. And it sold.
I had one of those.
Yeah.
I saw your these portable speakers yesterday. There's a beautiful one.
Yeah. 1500.
Yeah.
1200 or 1500.
Yeah. 1200, 1500. You can buy it right now. Log on to boAt.com. No, sales apart, right? What I'm saying is, when I saw it, it looks like a piece of art that I can keep in my house, right?
Yeah.
Was there something like that in your house, or your dad had a speaker that you looked at and went, wow, I like this, or did it just happen by chance?
No, so if you look at the headphone also you're wearing, right? It was a very boring category earlier. It was all blacks and whites. And that is where we brought in some coolness. We brought in the right product, the right designs, and the right style. And I think, if you look at our website also, it's not, as you were saying, boAt.com. No, it's boAtlifestyle.com. So from day zero, we never wanted to create a audio brand. We wanted to create a lifestyle brand, which is selling headphones as the category. So we made people wear headphones rather than on their ears. We made them wear it on their neck. That was the principle with which we started, right? We have, we had Lakme Fashion Week. We've been partnering with them for last like 5 years.
Was it a guy wearing clothes and walking, or just
only then clothes plus the only accessory he was wearing was headphones.
Lovely.
Yeah, and we've partnered with Kunal Raval. We've partnered with Masaba, and those collaborations have worked very well for us. So we made, we never wanted to sell headphones. Headphones was just, you buy our products for adding to your lifestyle, and that is how we still market our products. We don't want to sell it as an electronic product.
Lovely. Let's kind of start with your journey working in a corporate company. What kind of got you out of there? Look, you were comfortable. You were the sales head. You would have had a great salary. What made you quit that and say, I will do the same thing, but I will do it my way? Did they reject your ideas inside the system you worked at?
No, they didn't increase my salary. Sorry.
Oh, that's not good. That's terrible. Pay people, or they'll just become Aman Gupta and start another boat and sink yours.
Yeah. I was like, have you seen that movie, Band Baja Barat?
I have.
वो कहता है ना market में मिलते हैं. That's what I said to my boss. Like, पैसे बढ़ा रहे नहीं बढ़ा रहे चलिए market में मिलते हैं.
It also happened with the guy who started Playboy. Esquire didn't pay him the money, and he said, "Screw this," and he went and started Playboy as a magazine. Yeah, like most of these entrepreneurship stories that I've read, invariably they're not paid or the contracts are not right, and then they just say, and move on. I'll give you a great example of that is Phil Knight. I was reading Shoe Dog.
Yeah, I love that.
Right?
I love that. Yeah, on a Jugaad Tiger did that.
See?
Yeah. No, so, but I'll, on a serious note also, not only that, but it was also that the market was changing. And, you have to change. And I was like, it was difficult to change a corporation which is already set and, it's like a global thing.
Right.
And India, the sound was also, the market was changing in the sense the sound, people wanted EDM. If you look at our music also has become more Punjabi. So that means it's got that dhol. It's got that, EDM has got that, bass drop. And that is where India wanted something. So our bass is we are very bass heavy headphones. Like we call them bass heads. Like with the A is like B 5 times A is S. So bass heads. So it's like only for bass. So we know that 90% of India loves bass. So let's give them bass heavy headphones. That's what we did. And we gave them something which, different, the companies globally, they normally sell the global products for India, right?
Yeah.
But I think Indians now, when I started, Indians were not very comfortable buying Indian brands. There was, only price which was selling in India.
Yeah.
And that is where, we brought in the products, right lifestyle, right style. I think, thank God, and thanks to these boAtheads, the consumers, we are very lucky that they loved us and they keep loving us, and we keep delivering the right values for them. So it's difficult to, it was difficult at one point to start up. It was not easy.
Yeah.
Even my wife was like, I give you 2 years. Either you start up or you, either you do something or then you do a job with which I want you to work. Because, we were married. I had a kid.
Yeah.
Good salary.
Yeah.
And, there is a lot of peer pressure, right? There's a lot of peer pressure when your friends around you are doing well and they've bought those right cars, they've got the, exotic vacations.
Yeah.
And, and you have to start struggling. I was like 35.
Yeah.
Some people said it was like a midlife crisis. No, man, midlife crisis wasn't there yet. But I just didn't like to do what I was doing. I thought, I want to, for me, happiness and enjoying life is more important than working, right? So even when we work today in my office, I always say that people who look at it as work don't work.
Yeah.
People
it's got to be fun.
Enjoy it. Every day should be a Sunday and every day should be a Monday. So, enjoy your work. So that's been my philosophy, and that's what I thought that, let's just start up. Let's do something which I want to do.
Is a successful entrepreneur somebody who's also creative and truly believes in his idea? Because there are businesses. You just spoke about a brand you worked with which didn't want to change. They like something as simple as not getting the bass drop for Indian context.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't say that it's only, sometimes it would be wrong to me that only being creative is the only thing. There are a lot of things which you need. Like I am creative, but if you look at so many creative people, they haven't done like crazy well, right? So you also need some sort of, I would say, operations, some sort of financing, business, acumen. And that is where also my co-founder comes into the picture. He knows. So it's very important to probably have the right team, whether it's a co-founder or the team, because, it's also, entrepreneurship is lonely. It's very lonely, and you have to do everything yourself. And when you're used to a team, HR team, admin team, PR team, and then you go out and you're the only one. I used to deliver products also initially. I used to go, to the Chromas and Reliances. In my bag, I used to carry headphones and show it to them. Like, देखिए कितना अच्छा बज रहा है. ऐसा कोई speaker देखा आपने?
Right.
We've done that all, right?
You remember the first ever delivery you got out on?
Yeah, I loved it.
What was it? Tell us which store, where, and who received you.
I went to this, there's a, in Delhi, there is a market called Khan Market where, it's got, Khan Market is like where all the South Delhi and, the ooh la la of Delhi goes.
Got
right?
it. They're rich and they go there to
Yeah,
shop.
yeah.
Okay.
So Khan Market, mein, it's more of, also aspiration building, right?
Okay.
You go to the best first. So
Right.
I went to Khan Market. I was like, why don't you guys keep these speakers of mine? And they
Right.
said, "Arey, kya kar lega? There are a lot of people like you who come, and next day there are, the companies get shut off. Where is your office?" And I was working out of Hoskas Social.
Right.
I said, "Sir, Hoskas mein, अरे छोड़ यार, warranty कौन देगा, service कौन देगा, और तू पता नहीं कल आएगा नहीं आएगा." So they did not keep my products, right? But then I did a very weird thing. I used to, I told my wife after 2 days to go to the same shop, and she goes to the shop and says, "भैया boAt है?" तो he's like, "नहीं है." तो कहती, "बोट क्यों नहीं रखते, इतना अच्छा प्रोडक्ट है?" Then after 3 days I sent my mom, and my mom goes and like, "भैया वो बोट के स्पीकर है क्या?" तो he's like, "नहीं." तो then fourth day I'm thinking, he'll call, आएगा, फोन आएगा, and then he calls me, "यार वो आए थे ना, तुम रखने थोड़े प्रोडक्ट्स दे दो, थोड़े रखने." So I had to coerce my way inside that shop.
So the Gupta family is one giant traveling circus. Tell me, how many stores have your mum and wife visited?
So we learned it the hard way that you have to.
That's awesome, man. What a way to get it done.
Yeah, we got it done that way. So we artificially created demand to ensure that our products are, and then वो इंडिया में ना एक पुरानी कहावत है, जो दिखता है वो बिकता है. So if you had kept it in the shelves at Khan Market, then I used to send the retailers in Green Park and GK1 to, यार वो Khan Market ने रख लिया, आपने नहीं रखा. And they used to aspire to do what Khan Market is doing.
Right.
So then they kept it, and then the other guys kept it. So it was like that we did it, and we learned a lot from companies like Apple. There was we used to launch our products and say only 1,000 pieces are there, and then people, 1,000 ही आए हैं, and then sold out, and then we used to celebrate sold out more than the stock-ins, right?
No, but that's exactly what like Rolex and Patek Philippe are doing today.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
walk in, you want to buy. These are just real estate spaces.
Yeah.
You get nothing there.
Yeah. Nike, the Jordans, it's
Sold
like that. Sold out, day 0, 7 o'clock.
That's amazing. I want to understand this, right? Like, obviously, I know you went to Kellogg's, you studied there, you have like a fancy degree to show, you have work experience, and you have mad amount of drive.
Yeah.
Now, not everybody listening to us knows how to get there. If you had to break it down for a newbie and say, man, here you go, 1, 2, 3, do these things and then see where it goes, what would those 3 things be?
So I would say first, don't take EMIs, to anybody. That's the biggest problem which India has. As soon as they get some salary, they start, buying cars and houses.
Just 1 second. Do I have my phone with me? I need to cancel an EMI right now.
So that's even worse. Don't start it, because cancelling is even worse, right? So I would say that don't get into that stress.
Right.
And secondly, at our times there was no opportunities. It's like the 3 idiots way: CA kar lo, MBA kar lo. But today there's so many crazy opportunities, man. You can become an influencer, you can become a podcaster, you can become a videographer, you have these opportunities which are available to you, right? So find what you like to do. And I think the biggest problem is when we were starting off, 90% of India didn't know what they like to do, right? A lot of people who are into jobs which they don't want to do, and they do it for like a 9 to 6 sort of a thing, and there are a lot of people who don't enjoy what they're doing. So I would say just you should know what you want to do and enjoy doing. I didn't know it. So I tried doing consulting. It was so boring. Then I worked in a bank in the banking financial side. I've started 2 startups also. So I have tried a lot of things.
Did they do okay, the 2 startups?
No, they failed.
Oh, lovely. What were the 2 ideas?
So there's an online website selling professional audio gear.
Okay.
Like, these guys, which I was telling, the microphones.
Right. For radio and podcasts.
For radio and podcasts and also. But there were a lot of these funded startups which had started up. So I thought that it's better not to start up on this area where you need a lot of funding, because it's all about burn.
that
Yeah,
bombed, that
yeah.
got burned down. And what's
Yeah.
the second one?
And then I did something with my wife. It was called Cutie Pie Lane, and that was an venture to sell baby
Who-
products.
Please tell me that was not her idea, the name. It was your idea.
No, the name was joint idea. Yeah.
No.
Success and failures both are joint, right?
But Cutie Pie Lane is one person's idea. Aman, I wanted to get this right. See, a lot of people quit quintessential jobs,
Yeah.
like say a tech job or one of those things, and
Yeah.
then they go and become, like you rightly said, podcasters, actors,
Yeah.
YouTubers,
Yeah.
cricketers. Like I know people who've been, like Harshal's a very close friend of mine whose
Nice.
parents
Wow.
worked in the US,
Yeah.
doing stuff at Dunkin' Donuts and
Correct.
stuff like that, and then he broke out of it to play cricket.
Yeah.
In your case, you
Yeah.
went from selling speakers and earphones in an organization that's been around for donkey's years
Yeah.
to create your own brand.
Yeah.
It isn't that different. You're selling devices that are different,
Yeah.
but I'm saying it's not very different. So why did you make this lateral shift, if I may call it?
So it's this industry. We had 200 players when we entered, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
So there were 200 guys
Yeah,
selling speakers.
Yeah, they are. Like they were the Chinese, Germans, Japanese,
Okay.
Indians, Chinese.
Okay.
Everybody was here. It is a tough category. The entry barrier is not tough, so people used to enter very easily. Now it's tough, but yeah, people used to enter very fast. It's all about execution at the end of the day, I would say. You can
Right.
do anything. There are so many companies which have started even in the podcast space, but there are only a few which are doing well, right?
Right.
There are so many people who do 100 things, but it's all about execution, how well you execute the idea, right?
Yeah.
If you go to a cafe today, there'll be 100 people sitting on some ideas.
Yeah.
How many people out of there take the plunge to start something of their own?
Yeah.
And how many can afford to do that? Because there are a lot of people who cannot, right? Because they've got EMI pressures.
Yeah.
And mother-in-law pressures and
Yeah.
wife pressures, and
Yeah.
they don't want to leave,
Yeah.
and they don't have it in them to leave, or maybe they have compulsions that they can't leave, right?
Correct.
And there are out of that, so many people will be ideating on something. The problem which we are having is not that the same problem somebody else is not having. So
Right.
if you look at India today, there are people ideating at different parts
Yeah.
of this.
Yeah.
Any cafe you go, sit for like 10 minutes, you'll see some people at the side table talking about entrepreneurship, right?
Right.
It's about how you execute, how well you execute, whether you had it with you, whether the timing was right,
Yeah.
whether the time to market was right, whether the product market fit was right,
Yeah.
and whether God was with you, whether luck was favoring you at that time. So I would say that there are a lot of things which go to build it up. It was not that we were the only ones in this space which started at that time. There were like 20 of them. They were like the Indian captain had a brand of its own, right, where he had
Right.
invested. There are so many Bollywood guys who had their headphone brands.
Yeah.
But touchwood, God has been kind. boAtheads have been kinder,
Yeah.
and we've executed it better. is
Let's
what I would
talk
say.
about the boAtheads then.
Yeah.
They clearly, you've mentioned them twice.
Yeah.
And I know they're a huge part of this ecosystem because be it the products, be it the community, or be it just creative product that we put out there, they're the first consumers.
Yeah.
And man, they've been loyal to a fault with this organization and with you. What makes them so special?
So we
What's the attachment?
it's these guys. We learned it through these. I would say as we were talking about the Jordan community, the
Yeah.
Apple community.
Yeah.
These guys are loyal fans, right?
Yeah.
And you get some loyalty. So I think we've been truthful to our community, and they've responded well. We've never sold our products saying that we are X, Y, and Z. Buy us. We've only put our products in front of them. And initially it was like 1, then 10, then 100, then 1,000, then millions. So this just expands. It is just that once you buy a boAt product, you understand what value we are delivering and what comfort we give, and how do we take care of you post the sales, post purchase experience. Everything has to be there. So you cannot, in India, we are smarter. The millennial population whom we are catering to, they're smarter than
Yeah.
all of us, right?
Yeah, they're very intelligent.
And
yeah.
and I always say that I'm repeating myself here. ग्राहक भगवान है, ये ना पुरानी दुकानों में लिखा होता था, और बात सच है. लोग नहीं
Customers
देखते.
king.
आप किसी भी शॉप में जाओ, जो आपकी पुरानी शॉप होगी ना, वहाँ आपको दुकानदार आपको जानता था. करेक्ट.
Correct.
वो कहता था, अरे भाई ये लेने आया है, कैसे हो
Yeah. The
गुप्ता जी.
traditional mobile phone store, all of us had one guy that we would go to. It's like a jeweler. All of us have one family
so
guy.
you would have that mobile guy, but your
Yeah.
mom will have that that different guy.
Yeah.
Maybe the grocery guy.
Yeah, like a jeweler.
Mom
Yeah.
and dad will have that jeweler guy or
Yeah.
grocery guy. So they
Yeah.
will go. That is the essence of India. Trust,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So if you break that trust, they are not going to go back to you again.
Right.
We just made that same trust
Yeah.
with our consumers and our brand. It
Right.
is just extrapolation of that old theory of trust,
Yeah.
and that boAtheads trust us. That's the community of people who made us who we are. We did not get funding. We did not have investors.
Yeah.
These are the guys who, when we launched our first watch, first TWS, it was sold out in like 1 minute.
Wow.
And it was because of these boAtheads who just came to the site and bought it. When we launched our first watch, it was sold out in less than 30 seconds. So we bring products. They know that there is a promise of boAt. There is an aspirational value buying a boAt. It's not just affordability, it's also aspiration. They just, and that is the way we treat our consumers, that they are still our gods.
Lovely. It's good that the boAtheads are this supportive, and it almost feels like they see themselves in you.
Yeah.
And it's that aspiration, and they're like, let's fuel this growth. And I think people are extremely kind. What are you doing in return for them? Are you doing something for them as well?
Yeah, so there is personally, I invest back in startups, right? I'm giving it back to the society through helping them. I did not have a lot of mentors in my life.
Right.
So, all these, even in Shark Tank or otherwise, I get a lot of entrepreneurs who come to me for advice
Yeah.
and for mentorship.
Yeah.
And, if that is the way I can be a part of helping them, I feel nice, right? It's my way of giving back personally.
That's lovely.
In terms of the company, we do a lot of things. We've got a team which is only working on community and giving back to the society. There is, we do a lot of new entrepreneurs or new businesses or
Yeah.
new ideas where we try to help them, whether they are I would say, that's where our philosophy of do what floats your boat comes into picture, where we are also helping communities in terms of some people are artists, some are graffiti artists, some are choreographers, some are budding singers, some are people who are trying to do things in their field of life, and that is where we feel we should help them achieve their passions. If we can be that enabler,
Yeah.
I think it's the way of giving back for us.
I really like what you guys are doing. And also, especially after I watched you on Shark Tank. Boy, oh boy, are you a TV star or what? How did you manage to kill so hard?
I didn't kill
Look, there was
anyone,
you. There was Ashnir
Yeah.
Grover.
He was killing. I wasn't.
He wasn't killing. He was basically the masala of that show. I like the guy. He's honest. He's like,
He's a friend of mine.
to your baker, like, don't do it. Shut your shop down. Go back, sit in your house, go back to your basement, sit in your kennel or whatever, right? He was saying all that kind of stuff. And then there's you who's just constantly giving the funnies and making people laugh. Was that conscious? Did they tell you they wanted that out of you? Or were you just that guy?
No, you can't, at least, we are not actors. We are
Yeah.
entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
We don't act for a living.
Yeah.
We work for a living.
Yeah.
And, we just went there as ourselves. I think Sony did a good job in finding the right people, I would say. Right?
What's it done though for you to be on Shark Tank? Because I have your introduction right here. Even before I read boAt anywhere, it says Shark Tank.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, but he's boAt.
Yeah,
and
I know.
Then Shark Tank. Do you kind of experience that as well? Like, I'm just saying, does that kind of play on your mind sometimes? Like, hey, I'm entrepreneur, not TV star.
No, it's fine.
You're
It's
good?
it's
You're
now
okay with
how to
that?
manage it. It's
How's it? Are you signing pictures? Are you like
Yeah,
doing
it's-
selfies?
Yeah, I do.
What's
but
that life?
It's different, right? It was not, and yesterday I was telling you, it's a very different world, right?
You were
This-
hanging with Bobby Deol yesterday.
No, we were at the start. There was this Pink Villa Awards. I was there, and then
I
post
know
that
Pink Villa.
we went to a bar where Bobby Deol was partying. It was not that we were partying with him, but
Lovely. Bobby Deol still parties at places.
I think he was
in
there
Bombay.
with his son and his friends or something
That's
like
so
that.
sweet.
Yeah.
That's so sweet. Nothing like taking
I
your
didn't. We
kids
didn't
out
meet
for a
her. We just
party.
saw him. So we didn't meet him. We just saw him. So for me, it's the person Aman Gupta first always, and then it's what we've done. It's boAt,
Yeah.
which is my baby. People. It's I have 2 children with my wife and 1 child with Samir, which is boAt.
Right.
It's like our baby.
Right.
And then it is because of boAt that we did well,
Yeah.
and we've created boAt, and that has helped us be on Shark Tank, because it's it's a story people want to hear,
Yeah.
and it's the way we invest back. And then it's Shark Tank was a very different experience. I loved it being there.
Yeah.
I never, in India now, yesterday when I was telling you that there were a lot of Bollywood people there, and there are entrepreneurs like me also a part of that community also
Yeah.
getting there.
Yeah.
That means India is celebrating entrepreneurship, right?
It is.
India, when I started off, people, even my mother-in-law was like, why are you doing business? Right? Entrepreneurs were not celebrated. There was a time when government jobs used to be hot. Then there was a time when private jobs used to be hotter.
That's because businnesmen were never hot. That's
Yeah.
the problem. What is your idea of a hot businessman? Guy
No,
wearing
in the sense-
Burberry shirt.
No, I'm saying as industries and as markets have changed, look at how our government is also supporting entrepreneurship. There's
Yeah.
a national startup day
Yeah.
which has started. So startups and founders are being celebrated.
Right.
Right. It was not about Burberrys and all. If you just do a Google on me as Aman Gupta boAt, you'll see 99% of the pictures me wearing a simple black boAt t-shirt. That's it.
There you go.
Yeah,
Give me-
I used to wear that.
yeah.
And it is that India is changing, and I'm loving the fact that starting up initially before Shark Tank also was not, people, parents never used to understand what the child was doing.
Now
And
they do.
Now they do, right? So
Yeah.
Shark Tank has been a phenomena where at least moms are not watching those Saas Bahu serials, and they
Yeah.
are watching something educative, something different.
Yeah.
And they are understanding valuations, they are understanding the terms which we are trying to explain to the country.
Correct.
So it's a beautiful show. And
Now
it
I
is-
must say congrats to the makers and to the people sitting
Yeah.
down there. You guys have made business more accessible.
Correct. I love it. So India is changing, the entrepreneurs are changing, and that's the best part about, if you ask me about Shark Tank.
Aman, I don't know why I never asked you this question. Why boAt? As in, like, how did you come up with the name boAt?
It's
Have you said the story before?
yeah, many times, and I keep changing the story.
Let's have a new
Depends
version.
on
this
where
time
I
around.
am. In Kapil Sharma, I said A for apple, B for boat. It was the easy answer, right?
But B for ball, it is. I
Yeah,
mean,
we are changing it.
I went to an ICSE school and it was B for ball.
Change. Look at the new books. It's called B for boat.
Sure, that's now. But I want to know, why did you get to boAt? Because you and Sameer, is that right?
Yeah.
Why did you all choose boAt? Were you on a boat? Were you making a paper boat? What is going on?
I don't know, man. So I'll give a new answer today. Okay, so there is a Piscean in me, which is like fish, and
But that's underwater.
yeah, and I have an office in Hoskas village overlooking the lake,
Perfect.
and then I am a shark, which is also related to water,
Correct.
and then there is boat. So there is something which is divine about boat. How's
Yeah.
that as an answer?
It's not very convincing because most of them live. You're talking about the biggest diversity ever underwater, and you're talking about something that floats above it.
Yeah. So the real answer is, we had a tagline called "Plug into Nirvana," right? And
Plug into Nirvana.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when you go on water, you actually leave the land behind, right? When you're on a cruise, on a boat, on a speedboat, you go there and you just enjoy yourself. You're in a
Yeah.
different world. You're plugging into a zone of happiness. You plug into your own zone. So you wear a boAt headphone and you plug into Nirvana. That was the connotation
Wow.
with which we started.
That's an incredible
You're
story.
finally convinced.
I mean, that's a great story. Now, I want to know again, right? Like, I'm so fascinated speaking with you because a lot of people watching right now, poor guys are trying to get their ethos, value, this, that going together. They can't get the kind of thought that you already got to even before you had something. How do they get there?
I don't know. So we are just making a vision and the mission statement. We just the new CEO is trying is making that.
You have a vision statement.
We are
What
trying
is
to
it?
make. We just we'll be back with that soon. So we don't have it yet.
Okay, I'm going to get that on season 2. Shit, but that's gone because we have a contest and we're looking for new people. We'll tell you about that in just a bit. But I want to know this, Aman. What's next? I mean, are you guys going to run into car brands? Are we going to see both speakers in cars? Because there are so many. And personally, as an Indian, I'd love to drive a German car with both speakers in it.
Correct. As a company, we really want to, we are what do you call it? We are Banyas at heart. we are very frugal in the way we do things. In fact, we didn't move our office from a co-working space until they did not have a lot of seats left for us.
Yeah. Oh wow. Till
So,
the end.
yeah.
Till the last guy couldn't fit in. That's
Yeah,
when you moved.
that's when we moved.
You have a fancy glass building now.
No. You come to our building. It's a very different vibe. it's a very cool office.
Lovely.
Right? It's a very it's in the lanes of Hoskas village. Come
Lovely.
sometime.
I will.
So in our way of life, we've moved fast in what we are doing. Focused on probably we were doing only speakers first. Second year we introduced our earphones. Then we introduced our wireless earphones next year. Then we introduced our soundbars. Last year we introduced our watches, wearables.
Yeah.
So we want to get that going. We want to disrupt that category.
Aman, for people who are tuned in, people who are watching us or hearing us, like you rightly said, it seems like the era for entrepreneurship in India.
Yeah.
For someone who doesn't get the kind of support,
Yeah.
in the form of family or friends,
Yeah.
how do you win trust?
So it's as I said, it's difficult, and it's it's not an easy journey, but be persistent, keep trying, and keep trying, because if you don't, you will, it's like better try than cry, because if you don't do it and somebody else does it, and that's the worst feeling, that you feel missed out, you feel that you didn't do it and the other guy did it, and you don't want to be there. So keep trying, and there are a lot of failures. And failures are good, because they'll teach you. I love entrepreneurs, and I love failed entrepreneurs. And even in companies, if you're working today, if you get, if people work like entrepreneurs now, right? And where you take up something and you own it, you're like
Within
an
the
entrepreneur,
organization.
Within the organization.
Yeah.
That's the first world. And we encourage
I love the
failures.
phrase. What did you say? Entrepreneurs. Is it?
Entrepreneurship.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah.
So in our company also, there are a lot of people who started doing X, and we encourage them, and they will fail, they might fail, but they're trying something new. And if we don't encourage entrepreneurship, it's not, you're not igniting their passions, and which is what we also do. So it's not necessary that you have to start something and leave everything, just because sometimes entrepreneurship is also a fad. I want to be a founder, I want to get funded.
Yeah.
And people celebrate that. Oh, you got funding. I think we should not celebrate funding. It's not something to be celebrated as such, but because it brings in a lot of responsibility, fiduciary responsibility towards the investors and all. But I think you should do, again, going back, whether you are in a startup, whether you're working in a company, whether you're working in a startup, organized company, whatever, do what you like to do. There are some people who cannot. My wife has decided she never wants to be an entrepreneur, because she doesn't like it. It's not it doesn't come naturally to her.
Yeah.
And she loves working right where she's working. So you have to first decide what you want to do.
Yeah.
And just do that. In companies also today, people like us encourage entrepreneurship, as I was saying. So do what floats your boat.
That's awesome. Tell me, who are the endorsers that you have right now? What is the list?
So we've got, in cricket, we've got, starting from the openers, we've got KL Rahul. We've
Lovely.
got Shikhar.
Yeah.
We've got Hardik. We've been with him for, before they even played for India, we had them as boAtheads. We have Shreyas Iyer.
Yeah.
So we've got, we've got Mayank Agarwal.
Yeah.
So we've got a lot of boAtheads in cricket.
Yeah.
We do, IPL teams. We've done a couple
RCB
of
as well. Yeah. And that's
IPL
awesome, because you guys are on the lead, and
Yeah.
every time AB de Villiers went absolutely berserk playing, you could see boAt right there, and I'm like, wow, that is such good placement, because boAthead, boAt, all of it gets together.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
And, they started playing when they started wearing boAthead caps, and, boAt there.
Is that why we made it to 3 playoffs in the last 3 years?
We love the lucky charm. We should,
I've been around for 8 years with that team. We've not won yet. Probably get boAt on the other side as well, or on the t-shirt straight up. Okay,
point.
so cricket is great. And what about Bollywood?
Bollywood, we've got, we signed Kartik Aaryan, he was just one movie old. 4 years back.
Was this Pyar Ka Panchnama?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we've got Kiara, and we had Kiara even before her first movie was launched.
Oh wow.
So we take a lot of bets on young people, and we we grow together is what
Yeah.
I always feel.
Yeah.
And that's how we stay connected.
Yeah.
So we've got, for wearables, we've got Rashmika now.
Okay.
And she's also, doing a fantastic job.
Oh
in
yeah, she's
India.
had a
And-
meteoric rise again.
Correct.
She's incredible.
Correct.
Yeah.
And we've,
yeah.
we've
We went to the same school.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but she turned out to be the most successful one. It's a
No,
sad
no.
story.
I don't know. Yeah, it's
Let's move away from
keep
this
at-
topic. No, I'm kidding. Is shadow boarding something that's huge at boAt? Because I remember reading an article in the Harvard newspaper where they talk about older brands, like
Yeah.
luxury brands, and how they just have these younger people telling them what happens.
Yeah.
So what's the youngest employee that you have in boAt or at boAt?
There is this guy I met on Shark Tank. His name is Prathamesh.
Huh.
He's not an employee, but he's more of a boAthead, and he comes to our office. And even on the show, he was like, I hear the sounds when the headphone says "Adios amigos," powering off, or you plugged into Nirvana. So he knows our lines.
Wow.
And he comes and tells me, he comes to our office. We made him the CEO for a day, and he says that you guys are launching these DC Marvel editions, and why don't these the actors? So he's like, why don't these actors and superheroes start talking in their language when you're buying like a Iron Man edition? So why can't you make them say these lines? And that was a beautiful idea, right?
It's a lovely idea.
Yeah, and I told my team to explore that if the next year's collaboration can have some voice notes from these superheroes. So the ideas can come from anywhere.
Incredible. All right. Thank you so much, Aman. This has been such an incredible chat. And the good thing about all of this is Aman is not just an investor. He's invested. Not just in making boAt bigger, but for you to become a ship or a yacht yourself. All right, guys. This is unfiltered information, and it's purely for you. We're doing a bonus episode, and this one features you. If you have a unique talent and if you're doing what floats your boat, then put that reel up, tag boAt, we'll pick you up, and we'll feature you here on IVM Podcast. Aman, why are we doing this though?
This is, somebody else also wants to be probably a new podcaster or something else. So let's encourage them and give them an opportunity to showcase their talent.
Awesome. Plug into Nirvana. Do it right now. Upload that reel right now. Your time line is up until the 1st of September. Don't miss out on it.
Don't miss the boat. Sorry, I was plugging it in.
Well done. Well done. Well done.